Hello everyone, good morning. Good morning everybody. Am I audible? Can you hear me? All set? Yes. Good morning everyone. Good morning, good morning. Please guys reply. Are you able to see me? Am I okay? Just give me a second. Okay. So let's begin with the discussion. I have chosen a couple of sets which are very interesting sets, previous year questions, fine, and both of them are very known and very infamous kind of sets for their sheer understanding. I mean, if you solve these kind of a question in exam, थोड़ा सा confusion होता है, but still if you have the clarity of things, if you have clarity of process, you can solve these two questions. Okay, so I guess let's start with the discussion. A small announcement we have to make, which I do in every class in most of the sessions. We have started a batch from 22nd February. The batch code is R4. It's a completely English medium batch. My name is Swapanil. I'll be taking LRDI in that batch, and Apurv sir will take Quant in that batch, and VARC will be taken by KD sir and Ayush sir. Okay, so it's a comprehensive batch. You can join this batch. You can join independent courses also. Fine. So if you want to know anything about the batch and the supports and the services, you can call the support. Okay, so this is the very small basic announcement I wanted to make. Let's start with the discussion. The set which I have chosen is this one. It's a very interesting set. If you read this set, you'll get the idea. Not the question is not complex, but when you solve such kind of a question during the exam, it becomes slightly confusing. Okay, we have done such similar kind of question in the previous class also. Visa processing office question which we discussed. Okay, scheduling question basically. So the same type of question is this. We have to find out a particular schedule in this question. Let's see the question first of all. Let's understand what is going to be happen in this question. Anjali, Bipasha and Chitra visited an entertainment park. Three people, ABC, visited an entertainment park that has 4 rides. Each ride lasts for 1 hour. This is very important. And can accommodate 1 visitor at 1 point. So no 2 people are going to visit the same ride. Sorry, no 2 people are going to be on the same ride at a particular point in time. Okay, so a ride can accommodate exactly 1 person at a time. All the rides begin at 9 a.m. and must be completed by 5 p.m. Okay, so from 9 to 5, this is the schedule we have, except the ride 3. So there is a special condition. There are special conditions for ride 3, for which the last ride has to be completed by 1 p.m. Okay, so that means, what does it mean? For ride 3, the last ride will complete by 1 p.m. Okay, fine. Now if you understand, if the last ride of ride 3 will complete by 1 p.m., that means you can buy the ticket for ride 3 at 12 noon. Okay, so 12 to 1 is the last ride of ride 3, and after that ride 3 is not available. Point taken. Okay, ride gets open after every 30 minutes, 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. and so on. Fine. So that means the first ride will start at 9 a.m. and this will, if somebody is in the ride, that ride will continue to 9 to 10, and that will be starting from 10 to 10:30, 10:30, 11 and so on. Okay, so after every half an hour the ride will open. You can buy the ticket and can start riding that particular ride. Not 10:15, not 10:20. It's going to be 10 or 10:30, 11 or 11:30, something like this. Whenever a ride gets open, and there are no visitor, or there is no visitor, the first visitor waiting in the queue buys the ticket just before taking the ride. Okay, so that's quite obvious. The ticket prices are 20, 50, 30 and 40 for ride 1 to 4. So ride 1 is going to cost 20, ride 2 is 50, 30 and 40. So most expensive ride is ride 1. What else? Each of the 3 visitors took at least one ride. So nobody is going to go outside the park without taking a ride. Everybody is going to take at least one ride. Okay. Not necessarily, nobody is going to take not necessarily all the rides. It is not possible, and not necessarily that one have to take all the rides. Maybe a possibility that people are taking 2 rides or 3 rides or one ride. Right? None of them took the same ride more than once. CAT does these kind of things all the time. They give you some sort of information which is very, very important in the paragraph itself, and we generally tend to miss that kind of information if we are not reading the paragraph carefully. Okay, none of them took the same ride more than once. So once you have taken a ride, ride 1 or ride 2 or ride 3, ride 4, you are not going to take that ride one more time. Got the idea? Fine. The movement time from one ride to another ride is negligible, that is okay. And a visitor leaves the ride immediately after the completion of the ride. No one take the break inside the park until or unless it is specifically mentioned. Okay, this is a very important statement. This is the statement which we were supposed to comprehend properly during the exam. If you are in the arena, okay, and if you are waiting for the ride, that is okay. But if you are unnecessarily taking the break between the rides, that is not practically possible if it is mentioned. Okay, that means somebody has completed a ride 11. Okay, 10 to 11 somebody has taken a ride, and that person, let's say, is X. So that person will not wait for another ride. That if supposedly the person has to wait, that is okay. But by default, that person is not going to take a break. That चलो मैं 11 से 12 का break ले लेता हूँ. Okay, and उसके बाद में ride लूँगा अगली. ऐसा possible नहीं है. Okay, so if break is going to happen only in case if it is mentioned, and if somebody is on the ride which you want to take, then you have to wait for your turn. That is not a break. Waiting for your turn is not a break. If you are taking a break by choice, that is going to be mentioned in the statement specifically. Nobody is going to take the break without mentioning. I hope it is like as of now. Any problem with this? Please guys reply. Good afternoon, good afternoon. यहाँ तक ओके? कोई डाउट तो नहीं? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's see the questions also. What was the total amount spent on tickets by Bipasha? That means we have to find out what ride Bipasha took and how many rides Bipasha took. Okay. Which were all the rides that Anjali completed by 2 p.m. That's what we have to find out. Which ride was taken by all the 3 visitors? That's what we have to find out. So basically we have to just find out the ride number and the number of rides taken by everybody. Okay, so we can find out anything and everything in terms of information. Okay, so I have taken these points in a slightly different manner so that I can have a space to write everything. These are the points, and we know the ride going to start at 9 and going to end at 5. So I have made a table out of it. The table is going to look like this. Okay, so in scheduling questions you have to make table. It has to be not that clean. Fine, but we have to understand that if I draw a table, things become a little easy. We have done in the previous class also. I draw a table, and we have clear-cut instruction to follow. And if we draw a table as well, it's going to be slightly easy to fill the table. Okay. The first thing I know that ride 3 is a special ride for which nobody can ride that use that ride after 1. So last ride is for 12 to 1 for ride 3. So that means ride 3 is not open after 1. Do you agree with this? Fine. This is the information we have. Ride 3 for which the last ride has to be completed by 1 p.m. So after 1, nobody is going to nobody is going to use ride 3. Yes or no? Fine with this? Guys, tell me, is that no? Not a problem? Okay, let's move ahead then. Chitra never waited in the queue. Chitra never waited in the queue and completed her visit by 11 a.m. after spending ₹50 to pay for the ticket. Very simple statement to comprehend. That means Chitra, did not wait for any ride. So she was in the arena and she was done with the arena by 11 a.m. Okay. So whatever the rides she is going to use, she'll be completely done with those rides by 11 a.m. Okay. But the important information is given to us that Chitra has spent 50 rupees. So Chitra is spending 50 rupees. That is a possibility only when either Chitra is riding which ride? Ride 1 plus ride 3. That will make it 50. Or Chitra is riding only ride 2. Because Chitra is going to spend 50 rupees. 50 can be generated by only using 50 once or 20 plus 30. I hope it is okay. See, these are the two possibilities I have for Chitra. And Chitra did not wait for any ride. So whenever she completed, fine, the ride, and she will get the next ride immediately. Okay. What else? Anjali took ride 1 at 11 a.m. First information which I can fill in the table directly. Anjali took ride 11 a.m. and she will be in the ride till 12 noon. Why? Because every ride is going to last for 1 hour. It is mentioned specifically in the question that the duration of each ride is how many hours? 1 hour or 60 minutes. So if Chitra is in the ride at 11, she'll complete the ride 1 by 12 noon. I hope it is okay. The duration of each ride is 1 hour. That is mentioned specifically in the paragraph. The duration of each ride lasts for 1 hour. The duration of each ride is of 1 hour basically. Okay, this is the point I'm talking about. Okay, so for somebody is using a ride, that ride will be, used by that person for 1 hour. I hope it is okay. Fine. Anjali took the ride 1 at 11 a.m. after waiting for 30 minutes for Chitra to complete it. That means when Anjali took the ride at 11 a.m., she was in the arena at how many times? Or at what time? 10:30. जब अंजलि ride कर रही थी 11 से 12, fine, sorry, then she was waiting for Chitra to complete the ride. Do you agree with this? That means the ride was occupied and Anjali was at ride 1 at what time? 10:30, because she has to wait here. And she was waiting here because Chitra was riding this ride. Yes or no? And if somebody is using this ride, or Chitra was using this ride, Chitra would have been in this ride at 10 to 11, because the duration of each ride is 1 hour. Understood? Tell me yes or no. Do you understand this point? If you understand this point, then we can move ahead. All of you, those who are in the class, please tell me, are you okay with this? Anjali took the first ride at 11, and 11 to 12 she was in the ride 1, and she was waiting for her turn to ride 1 because Chitra was using that ride. That means Anjali started this ride at 11. She was at the ride at 10:30 because she had to wait for it. So Anjali was sitting, waiting outside the ride 1 at 10:30 because Chitra was riding that ride. Chitra must have started the ride at 10. So 10 to 11 because the duration of each ride is 1 hour. Point taken? Okay. Now, once we have understood that Chitra is going to ride 1, Chitra is going to ride 1, that means this is not the possibility. This is the only possibility for Chitra because Chitra is going to spend 50 rupees. And 50 rupees can be spent by riding only ride 2 or riding ride 1 and ride 3. That means Chitra was riding only 2 rides. One of them was ride 1, other one was ride 3. Okay. And Chitra visit got over by 11 a.m. So Chitra must have used this ride. Which ride? Ride 3. कितने समय पर? 9 to 10. So Chitra was using this ride 3 from 9 to 10. Because Chitra का जो visit है वो 11 a.m. पे तो खत्म ही हो गया. Then Chitra was outside the arena by 11 a.m. She did not ride any ride. Fine. Do you get the point? So Chitra was using 2 rides because one of the ride is ride 1, so the other ride has to be ride 3 because the total amount spent by Chitra is 50. And Chitra was in the ride 1 at 10, so Chitra must have used the ride 3 from 9 to 10 because she was done with her visit by 11. Okay? Fine. This is what we have. So point number 2 is done. This point is mentioned. This is very important. I mean, just because of this point, people said that the questions are wrong. Fine. This is what's the question which was nightmare in terms of comprehension. This is the point which I'm talking about. This was the only ride where Anjali waited. This was the only ride Anjali waited. Okay, fine. That means whatever the ride Anjali took, she didn't have to wait. She could ride the ride one after the other. This was the only ride where Anjali waited for Chitra to complete the ride. Whatever the ride Anjali is going to take, that is going to be in sync. That means if Anjali is going to take the next ride, that is going to be 12 to some time. Do you get this? She was taking the ride. She was taking the ride from 11 to 12. And if Anjali want to take the next ride, she will take immediately after the first ride. She didn't have to wait. This was the only ride where Anjali waited. So ride 1 was the only ride where Anjali waited. इसके बाद जो भी राइड अंजलि लेगी उसको वेट करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. That means if she is going to take the next ride, she will take at 12. Okay, Anjali must be taking the ride at 12, and third ride 1, fourth ride 2, something like that, if she is going to take all the 4 rides. Okay, Bipasha began her first 3 rides at first of the 3 rides. Bipasha took how many rides? 3 rides. So Bipasha entered the arena at 11:30. Okay, and Bipasha took how many rides? 3 rides. Ride. I don't know the number of the ride, but what I know, Bipasha took how many rides? 3 rides. Point taken. And she took the first ride at what time? 11:30. I don't know the number of ride, but what I know, the first ride taken by Bipasha is 11:30. Second ride, I don't know she will take what time. She will take third ride at what time, because she took third ride. 3 rides in fact. And what I don't know, the order of the rides. I don't know the number of ride 1 or ride 2 or ride 3, whatever the ride she would have taken. Yes or no? All the 3 visitors incurred the same amount of ticket expense by 12:15. Again, a very important information. That means by this particular ride, at this particular time, everybody spent the same amount. Okay, we already know Chitra has spent what amount? 50. So this Bipasha should also spend 50 rupees. Yes or no? By 12:15. Bipasha should spend 50 rupees by 12:15. Yes or no? Am I right? Do you guys agree with this? Yes. Now tell me, if Bipasha is taking her first ride, that ride 1 cannot be her first ride, because ride 1 is already occupied by Anjali. Bipasha took her first ride at 11:30, and the 11:30 time, at 11:30, Anjali was in the ride 1. Yes or no? Fine. Do you agree with this? So that means 50 can only be obtained by 12 noon she has to spend 50 rupees. 12:15, by 12:15 she has to spend 50 rupees. That can only happen when she is taking ride 2. Yes or no? Ride 1 cannot be taken by Bipasha, because ride 1 is already occupied by Anjali. Yes? And she wants to spend 50 rupees. That means only way she can spend 50 rupees by 12:15 if she is taking the first ride at ride 2. Understood? So Bipasha took her first ride at 11:30, and that was which ride? Ride 2. Yes or no? Fine with this? Okay. Now Anjali is supposed to spend what rupees? 50 rupees by that time already. Anjali is also supposed to spend 50 rupees. Anjali has already taken which ride? Ride 1. After ride 1, she has to, because ride 1 will be over by 12, and she has to take ride 3 immediately to make 50 rupees. The ride 1 is costing 20 rupees, ride 3 will cost 30 rupees. Total amount spent by all the 3 is 50 rupees by 12:15. Okay, so 12 and 30, 20 and 30 will make it 50 rupees. That means ride 3 was taken by Anjali immediately after completion of the first ride, because it was the only ride where Anjali waited. Which ride was Anjali was waiting for? Only ride 1. So no other ride Anjali will wait for. So Anjali will take immediately after this ride 1. Yes or no? I hope it is okay. Fine with this? Please guys tell me. Fine with this. So this is what we have concluded as of now. Now what else is given? The last ride was taken by Anjali and Bipasha was same. Okay. Now can you tell me which ride Anjali and Bipasha can take together? The last ride of Anjali and Bipasha is same. The last ride, Bipasha last ride cannot be R1. Why? Because R1 is already taken by Anjali and we know nobody took the same ride twice. As per the statement I told you specifically, none of them took the same ride more than once. Yes. So Anjali cannot take the ride one more time. That's why Bipasha's last ride and Anjali's last ride cannot be this one. Yes or no? Fine. Can last ride of Anjali be R3? No. Or Bipasha be R3? No. Because Anjali and Bipasha should take the last ride together. Whatever the last. Last is not numerically last. In whatever the order they want, they can take. So Anjali and Bipasha's last ride cannot be R1 because that is already taken by who? Anjali. And Anjali is not going to take the same ride twice. Cannot be R3? Yes or no? Why? Because Anjali has taken already this ride. Cannot be B. Why? Because Bipasha is going to take 3 rides. And if this is the last ride, Bipasha will not take any more rides. And Bipasha cannot take the same ride one more time. I hope it is getting it. So that means last ride of Anjali and Bipasha is definitely going to be which ride? R4. Point taken? Harsh, do you get the point? You said R2. R2 cannot be the last ride of Bipasha because Bipasha is supposed to take 3 rides. And this was the first ride of Bipasha and Bipasha cannot take the same ride one more time. Do you agree with this? Fine. Now R4 is the ride which Anjali and Bipasha took, which is the last ride. Okay. Now let's understand. Alok will talk about it later. Fine. First of all, let me complete the set beta. The last ride taken by Anjali and Bipasha was the same, which was the ride number 4. We have already concluded why it is ride 4 because it cannot be ride 1, it cannot be ride 3, it cannot be ride 2. Ride 1 and ride 3 are taken by already Anjali, so she cannot take the same ride twice. Ride 2 is already taken by Bipasha, she cannot take the same ride twice. So ride 4 is the only ride I am left with, which can be the last ride for Anjali and Bipasha together. Okay. Where this last ride, they are talking about as last ride, where Bipasha waited 30 minutes for Anjali to complete her ride. तो यहाँ पर अंजलि और बिपाशा का लास्ट राइड है. And who waited? Bipasha waited for 30 minutes. Fine. Bipasha waited for 30 minutes for Anjali to complete her ride. So before Bipasha, Anjali would have been completing the ride. And Bipasha was there half an hour before. Okay, while Anjali was already using that ride. What else? Before standing in the queue for that ride, Bipasha took 1 hour break, okay, and after completing the previous ride. Now understand, Bipasha was in ride 2 from 12 to 12:30. Yes or no? Fine. Is that okay? And this ride is already closed. So second ride of Bipasha should be what? Ride 1. Second ride of Bipasha should be ride 1. Do you agree with this? Yes or no? Second ride of Bipasha should be ride 1. Am I right? Why? Because ride 3 she cannot take. She already passed the closing time of ride 3. So last ride is ride 4. Last ride is ride 4. So second ride for Bipasha is going to be ride 1. Okay? Fine. And nobody was taking a break until unless it is explicitly mentioned. Fine. And this ride is completely open. She didn't have to wait for anybody to use this ride because Chitra has taken this ride. Anjali has taken this ride. Once she completes ride 2, she'll immediately join ride 1. So this is B and B. Yes or no? So Bipasha was in ride 1 from 12:30 to 1:30. Point taken? Okay. Now she'll take a break. So Bipasha will take a break from riding any of the ride from 1:30 to 2:30. Yes or no? Bipasha will not ride any ride from 1:30 to 2:30. Is it mentioned specifically? That's what I'm telling about. That it is mentioned specifically, explicitly that Bipasha took a break. Bipasha took a break of what? 1 hour. Okay, coffee break. Before jumping to the third ride. Third ride is her last ride, which is ride number 4. Do you agree with this? Fine. So when Bipasha took the fourth ride, before that she was waiting, or she had a coffee break for 1 hour. So she was in the break for Bipasha took a break from what time to what time? 1:30 to 2:30. Yes, 1:30 to 2:30. Bipasha का break ये था. Clear है? Okay. So Bipasha was taking this break. Now after break she went there on ride 4. After she went for ride 4. Okay. Ride 4, and ride 4 was already occupied by Anjali at 2:30. Ride 4 was already occupied by Anjali at 2:30. Yes or no? Am I right? Ride 3 was already occupied by Anjali at 2:30. Do you agree with this? So if ride 4 is occupied by Anjali at 2:30, Anjali was riding this ride 4 at 2:30 because she had to wait for half an hour. So Anjali must have occupied this ride by 2 p.m. So from 2 to 3, Anjali was in this ride, and Bipasha was there at ride 4 by 2:30, and she waited for half an hour for Anjali to complete this ride, and Bipasha will take this ride B from 3:30 to 4. Is that okay? This is the only point which is slightly confusing. I'll just quickly repeat what I have done. Fine. I was getting calls, so I got distracted. Bipasha was in the ride 1 from 12:30 to 1:30. She took a break from 1:30 to 2:30. She went for her last ride, which is ride 4. She again have to wait for how many minutes? 30 minutes wait करना पड़ेगा उसको. That means for Anjali to complete the ride, that means Bipasha used this ride 4 from 3 to 4. Okay, and Anjali was using this ride from 2 to 3 because Bipasha waited here. So that means Bipasha was in the ride from 2:30 to 3. Okay. I hope it is okay. Tell me. Is that okay, all of you? Fine. Now, what was the problem with this question is, even after filling this much, people missed one point which was very, very difficult to use during the exam time. I'll tell you what is the point. This point which I've already underlined. It was the only ride where Anjali waited. Now tell me, Anjali was in ride 1 from 11 to 12. Anjali was in ride 3 from 12 to 1. And Anjali was in ride 4 from 2 to 3. That means Anjali did not wait for any time. Anjali took a break here. Not possible. Anjali cannot take a break because only person who took a break is Bipasha. That means Anjali was another ride during this time. So which ride Anjali could have taken during this time? After 1 and before 2, or 1 to 2 basically, which ride Anjali would have taken? This ride. Yes. So this was the point which people missed, and there was a question based on this. Anjali did not take a break. That means if Anjali is not riding any ride between 1 to 2, that means she took a break. That's practically not possible. Anjali already rode this ride 1, Anjali already used this ride 3, Anjali already used this ride 4. She cannot take the same ride twice. That means Anjali would have taken this ride 2 from 1 to 2. I hope it is okay. Fine with this? Okay. So let's discuss the questions also. What was the total amount spent on tickets by Bipasha? Bipasha took what rides? Bipasha took ride 2, ride 1 and ride 4. Ride 2, the cost of ride 2 was 50 rupees for Bipasha. Yes or no? 50, and ride 1 is 20 and 40. 50 plus 40 plus 20. She did not take only ride 3. So 50 plus 40, 90 plus 20 is 110. Yes? Okay. Which were all the rides that Anjali completed by 2 p.m.? By 2 p.m. So we have to look at this completed by 2 p.m. If you look at Anjali, Anjali took ride 1, Anjali took ride 3, Anjali took ride 2 by 2 p.m. Okay. So by 2 p.m. Anjali completed all the rides apart from ride 4. Yes or no? So by 2 p.m. she completed ride 1, 2 and 3. Understood? So she completed ride 1, 2 and 3. Which ride was taken by all the 3 visitors? Which ride was taken by all the 3 visitors? Let me check. Which ride was taken by all the 3 visitors? Tell me. Ride 1. Ride 1. How many rides did Anjali and Chitra take in total? Chitra took 2 rides. Anjali took 4 rides. So what is my answer? 6. Chitra took 2 rides, ride 1 and ride 3. And Anjali took 4 rides, ride 1, 2, ride 3, ride 4. Sorry, rides Anjali ne ride kiye. So Anjali and Chitra together have taken 6 rides. Understood? Okay. What was the total amount spent on tickets by Anjali? Anjali wrote all the rides, so she must have spent what amount? Total amount, that is 20 plus 50 plus 30 plus 40. 140 rupees is the amount spent by Anjali. Point taken, all of you? Fine. So very interesting question. Not the difficult one. The similar kind of question we have done in the previous class. If you look at the problem, it's slightly a confusing one when we solve during the exam. It has to be the case because a lot of things need to be kept in mind. We cannot write everything. I have tried my level best to write most of the things which can be written, but in a nutshell, you have to understand most of the information you have to retain. Okay? Because scheduling is such kind of a thing where we have to retain the information, then only we can answer the questions. I hope it is okay to all of you. Fine. Alok, start reading some novels, magazines, something. Fine, that will help you. Fine, and if you spend 1 year on reading, that will definitely give you in good shape. Okay. Fine. So let's move ahead now. I have chosen one other set, which is a Venn diagram set from previous year CAT. Fine, not a very difficult one, but again, the kind of question this is, it's a very challenging question during the exam if you want to solve this. Okay. So let's discuss this set. The question is telling us there are 1600 satellites were sent up by a country for several purposes. The purposes are classified as broadcasting, communication, surveillance, and others. So 4 purposes are these satellites. 1600 satellites are going to serve. Okay. A satellite can serve multiple purposes. However, that means if you look at satellite, let's say satellite X can serve multiple purposes. That means that can be used as broadcasting satellite, for communication, that can be used for surveillance also. Fine. However, a satellite serving either B or C or S does not serve O. Now, when everybody was starting with this question, they thought it's a 4 variable Venn diagram, but it's not actually the 4 variable Venn diagram. What is happening here? If you look at the services provided by these satellites, there were 3 services which can be common for any satellite: B or C or S. That means B or C or S, that means at least B or C or S, at least one, or means at least one. We have discussed in the previous classes also. Or means at least one. Fine. Does not serve O. That means if they are serving B, C or S, they will not serve O. That means O will be actually the none for this particular Venn diagram. O will be none for actually particularly this particular Venn diagram. Okay. The satellites which are serving B, C or S are serving what? They are not serving any other purpose. So they are serving, they'll be outside the Venn diagram of this particular thing. Okay. So O purpose is served by whatever the satellites, they will not serve any purpose among B, C or S. So जैसे हम Venn diagram में none लिखते हैं outside, I have to write O outside the circles. I hope it is okay, all of you. This was the first point which was challenging to comprehend. I hope it is okay. Point taken? Yes. Fine. Now few points are given. The number of satellites serving BCS, though may not be exclusively. Fine. So that is not exclusively. I mean BCSN are in the ratio of 2:1:1. The number of satellites serving all the three is BCNS is 100. So we have the information. Let's see the questions also to get the idea about what is to be done with the set. Okay. If you read this particular information given in the 4 statements, what best can be said about the satellite serving C? What is the minimum possible number of satellites serving B exclusively? If at least 100 of the 1600 satellites were serving O, what can be said about the number of satellites serving S? If the number of satellites serving at least 2 among BCS is 1200, which of the following must be false? The question is of maxima minima. So maxima minima itself an indication that we are not going to get unique value for each particular region in the Venn diagram. We cannot find out independent values for these particular regions. Okay. So what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to make equations. We have to figure out what is to be done with those equations. Okay. So this is what we have. It's not a straightforward question. We cannot directly fill this this information in the Venn diagram. So what I have done, I have designed a different Venn diagram. We can write here. This is B. Okay. This is C, and this is S. How many satellites are there in total? 1600. And O will be outside the Venn diagram. Do you agree with this? O will be outside the Venn diagram. Do you guys okay with this? Fine. What else do we have? The number of satellites serving B, C and S are in the ratio of 2:1:1. So what I can say, if this is 2, if it is 2K, this is K and this is K. 2:1:1, the total number. I hope it is okay now. Okay. The number of satellites serving all 3 BCS is 100. This would have given us a hint that O should be outside the circle. So this is 100. Okay. The number of satellites exclusively serving C is same as the number of satellites exclusively serving S. So these two numbers are equal. Fine. So if I say, let's say this is A, this must be A. Exclusively C, exclusively S, this is equal. Fine. What else? Same, and the number of satellites exclusively serving S, this number is 30% of the number of satellites exclusively serving B. So this number is, this A is 30% of this number. So I'll assume this to be 10A. I'm assuming this to be 10A. What will happen? This will turn out to be 3A. 30% of this. And this is going to be 3A. Point taken? If this is 10A, this is 30% of these numbers. So this is equal also 3A and 3A. Will that be okay? Fine. Exclusively serving B, 30% of that is exclusively serving C, and exclusively serving C is equal to exclusively serving S. So if this is 10A, this is 3A, this is 3A. Why I have taken 10, because 30% calculation will lead to a slightly simpler solution. Am I right? Please guys tell me. Reply to my question. Are you okay with this? I'm waiting for your reply. Please tell me. Is that okay? Okay, Bhavna. Now let's move ahead then. The number of satellites exclusively serving, we have already done this point. The number of satellites serving O is same as the number of satellites serving both C and S but not B. Both C and S, let's say this is B. Both C and S but not B. That means C and S but not B, this is B, and this is also B. Serving O is outside the circles, and as per the last statement, those satellites which are serving O, let's say this is B, is equal to the number of satellites which are serving C and S but not B. That means C and S only. Point taken? Tell me, is that okay or not? Understood? Fine. Now, if you look at this, I am left with these two portions. Aren't they going to be equal? Aren't they going to be equal? Because why? Because see, this is entire circle is K. This entire circle is K. This entire circle is also K. This is 100 and B. This is 3A. This is 3A. So if the total has to be equal, this has to be C. And this has to be C. Both of them needs to be equal. Do you get the point? If I say K, this is 3A plus B plus 100 plus, let's say this is X. Let's assume this is X and this is Y. This is the value of C in total. And S in total is what? If you look at this S, this is going to be 3A plus B plus 100 plus Y. If you look at this 3A, 3A, B, 100 will get cancelled. S is equal to Y. So that's why I have written both these values to be C. Is that okay? So these two values are C. We could have understood this by looking at the Venn diagram only. This entire circle and this entire circle is supposed to be same. These two are common values. This is 3A, this is 3A. If I want circles to have the same total value, this has to be C also. Point taken? Understood? Okay. Now let's move ahead then. Now this is the information I have. Fine. And the only information I can generate out of is by finding out the 1600. Total sum is 1600. Yes or no? So values in this entire Venn diagram, the sum total is going to be 1600. Fine. So if I say this is 10A, this is 3A, this is 3A. 10A, 3A and 3A will make it 16A. Please guys keep on replying. 10A, 3A, 3A, 16A. C and C will make it 2C. This is B. And this is B. This is 2B. Plus 100 is equal to 1600. Fine. So with this I can get 16A plus 2B plus 2C is equal to 1500. Or I can say 8A plus B plus C is equal to 750. This is the first equation I have. Point taken? Tell me. Yes. What can be the second equation? Just look at the information. What can be the second equation which I can generate? I am not going for the question as of now. Let's see what we can do. What else we can do? I know this is 100. No use. I know this is 2K and this is K. So this circle will be half of this circle, or this circle will be double of this circle. I know that B is equal to 2C. Yes or no? B is equal to 2C. This circle is double of this circle. This is 2K, this is K. So what is the value of B I have? 10A plus 2C plus 100 is the value. And this is twice the value of C, this C. So C I can write 3A plus B plus 100. I hope it is okay all of you. Yes, this circle is double of this circle. So what I have done, 2K is twice of K, so B is twice of C. The value of B is 10A plus 2C plus 100. And the value of K is equal to C plus 3A plus B plus 100. Okay. So 10A plus 2C plus 100 is equal to 2C plus 6A plus 2B plus 200. Yes? 2C will get cancelled. I'll be getting 10A minus 6A is equal to 4A is equal to This is 2b plus 100. So I'm going to get the value of A, which is going to be b by 2 plus b by 2 plus 50. This is second equation. Okay, this is b by 2 plus 50. Fine. So we have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. I don't know what is going to be the use of these equations, but somewhere we have to generate something out of the given information. That is the only thing I can generate. We don't have any other option to generate. These are the two equations I can get. Am I right? Now, every question, if you read the question properly, every question is, what if or maximum or minimum, or the conditions are specifically given for that particular question. So we have to use this information independently in every question. Fine with this? What best can be said about the number of satellites serving C? What best can be said about the number of satellites serving C? I have to find out the value of K. I have to find out the value of K. Fine. If I look at the value of K, what is the value of K I'm going to get? Tell me. The question is asking for K. What is the value of K? Tell me. 3A plus 100 plus C plus B. Yes or no? Am I right? Yes? This is slightly a mistake. This is 25. This is 25. I'm sorry guys. Thank you so much. This is 25. Divide by 4, it will become 25. Okay. So the value of K I have to find out. Understand? The question is asking what best can be concluded. I know that if I use this information directly, I have information related to A, B, C, little bit of the information. I have to convert this equation into one variable. Okay. How do I convert this equation into one variable? Thank you. Thank you, Himan. Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Now, if you look at this information, can I convert? I have equation A in terms of B. I have A in terms of B. Yes or no? Fine. I have A in terms of B. Can I find out C in terms of B? We can find out C in terms of B by using this equation. Okay. The value of K is turning out to be, listen to me what I am doing here. That is the only point where we need to think a lot in this question. The value of K, whatever the value of K is here, 3A plus C plus B plus 100. Yes or no? 3A plus C plus B plus 100. That is the value of K. And we have to find out the value or the range of values of K as per the question. Must be between 400 and 800, cannot be more than 800, must be at least 100, must be between 450 and 725. So we have to find out the range of values of K. So for that matter, I have to have some sort of plan. What is the plan? I'm going to convert this equation into one variable and we'll try to find out the value of K in terms of that variable. Okay, assuming that variable maximum or minimum. So I can eliminate A because I have a value of A in terms of B. Okay. Can I calculate the value of C in terms of B? Yes, we can calculate the value of C in terms of B. If I use this equation properly, what I'm going to do, this is 8A plus B plus C. Yes or no? Yes. So if I calculate 8A here, what is the value of 8A I'm going to get? Tell me. If I multiply this entire equation by 8, it is going to be 4B plus 200. Yes or no? So if I put here 8A is equal to 4B plus 200, this is the value of 8A. What else? B is there already. Plus 7 plus C is equal to 750. Fine. So what is the value of C I am going to get? This is C. This is going to be 550 minus 5B. Yes or no? So we have got value of C in terms of. Now we have everything in terms of B. Fine. We could have converted everything in terms of A also as and when it is needed. But we have converted in terms of B, so not a problem. If you look at this, what is the value of A we have here? What is the value of A? A is B by 2 plus 75. So 3 times of B by 2 plus 75. The value of C is 550 minus 5B. Yes, the value of C is 550 minus 5B and the value of B is B plus 100. Point taken? Tell me guys, is that okay? Okay. So this is 550 plus 100, 650 plus 75 is 725 minus 725 minus this is B by 2, this is 5B, this is B. So 2.5B. Do you agree with this? 550 plus 225 minus 100, 725. I hope it is okay. And this is 3B by 2. 3B by 2. Fine. And this is 5B and this is B. So 3B by 2, that means 1.5B and B will make it 2.5B minus 3 plus 2.5B will make it 2.5B negative. Understood? So this is the value of K I am going to get. Now the question is asking us to find out the range of K. Okay. Now B, what is the minimum value for B I can generate? What is the minimum value for B I can generate? B minimum is what? If I look at the values, B minimum is 0. And what is the value of B maximum? B maximum. If I look at this particular, where we have equation in terms of B, we have to find out the value of B. This will not result in anything. This will not result in anything. If you look at this information, this will tell us 550 minus 5B should be greater than equal to 0 as C is greater than equal to 0. Yes. So 5B is less than or equal to 550. B is less than or equal to 110. So B maximum is 110 and B minimum is 0. So what I can conclude from this, in total, B is definitely greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 110. This is the last thing I need to conclude. You could have understood this question is going to be a difficult question to solve during the exam. Lot many things need to be done. Yes or no? Fine. So if I look at this data, what is the value of B I can generate? If B is 0, K maximum will be, when B is 0, 725. And K minimum will be 725 minus 110. If I put the maximum value of B here, 110 into 2.5. 110 into 2.5. Yes or no? 110 into 2.5. Yes? 275? So if I subtract 275 from 725, will become what? 450? Okay. Understood? All of you, please tell me. Bhavna beta, it is absolutely correct. There is no problem in it. If you look at this, yes or no, Bhavna? This is 25. I miswrote it. This is 25. Yes? So 3 into 25 is 75. 550 will be making it 725. Okay? I was focusing here. Fine, completely. यहाँ से निकाला मैंने value. So this will turn out to be what? 3B by 2 plus 75 plus 550 plus 100. That will make it 725 minus 2.5B. Fine. And if I look at the value of B, B minimum is going to be 0. I can put B0 anywhere, not a problem with B. And if I want to find out the maximum value of B, I have to look at the equation where B is in negative. Okay. So if B is in negative, if you look at this equation, overall value C should be greater than or equal to 0. C cannot be negative. The number of satellites cannot be negative. So if you look at this information, C is greater than or equal to 0, 550 minus 5B is greater than or equal to 0, B is going to be less than or equal to 110. Understood? Now let's understand the first question. What best can be said about the number of satellites serving C? Tell me. I know the value of C is value of satellite serving C, that is K, is turning out to be 450 to 725. Yes? 450 to 725. Which of the answers which is most appropriate? Tell me. Yes? Which answer is most appropriate? Between 450 to 725, directly given here. 450 to 725. Yes or no? Fine. What is the minimum possible satellite serving B exclusively? B exclusive 10A. I have to minimize the value of 10A. I know the value of A in terms of B. This is A. 10 is equal to 10 times of B by 2 into 25. Yes or no? So there is going to be 5B plus 250. If you multiply this by 10, 10A will turn out to be 5B plus 250. Yes? Multiply this by 10. And I want to minimize this. If I want to minimize this, this will be minimum when B is equal to 0. So what is my answer? 250. C calculator. Okay? Fine. If at least 100 of the 600 satellites serving O. Now, what are the number of satellites which are serving O? B. So as per the question, we already have a range for B. B maximum can be 110. But for this particular question, B has to be more than or equal to 0. Fine. For this particular set, B has to be more than or equal to 0. But specifically for this question, they have mentioned the value of B is definitely more than or equal to 100. At least 100 of the 1600 satellites were serving O. That means B can be 100 or more. It cannot be less than 100, specifically for this particular question. And we know the upper limit of B, which is 110. Fine with this? For question number 3, the condition is given. B is definitely more than or equal to 100. And I generally concluded that B cannot be more than 110 by any chance, because in that case C is going to be negative. Okay. So we have the range for B. What is the question asking for? What can be said about the number of satellites serving S? What can be said about the number of satellites serving S? What do you mean by S? This entire total K. This entire total K. Okay. I hope it is okay to all of you. Okay. So what is the value of K? Again, the value of K is 725 minus 2B. So we have to find out, as per this range, the value of K, which is 725 minus 2.5B. Yes or no? Fine. Fine. We have to find out the value of K. If you look at this, this is 2.5B. If I put the value of B 100, so value of B 100 will tell us something. K कितना हो जाएगा उस केस में? If I subtract 100 into 2.5, which is 250 from 725, the value of K will turn out to be what? 475. If I put B is equal to 110, yes, K will turn out to be 450. Yes. So this is the information I can generate for question number 3. Now as per the question, at least 475? No. At most 475? That's correct. We can draw the conclusion, obviously. Minimum and maximum value of K is going to be 475 and 450. Minimum and 475 maximum, because the value of B is more than 100 and less than or equal to 110. Okay. So my answer is D. Fine. At least 475 is not the case, because I am getting the maximum value of 475. So it has to be less than or equal to 475. So this is not possible. Exactly 475 is not possible. We'll be getting multiple values. No conclusion I can draw. That is again not possible. We have the range of B, so we can find out the value of K also. Right? Okay. The last question from this set and last question for today's class. The number of satellites serving at least 2 among B, C, S is 1200. At least 2. What do you mean by at least 2? At least 2 means exactly 2 plus exactly 3. Do you agree with this? And that is given to us as 1200. Okay. This is specifically for this particular question. I hope it is okay, guys. I'm looking at the chess box in बीच में देख रहा हूँ मैं, so that आप reply कर पा रहे हो कि नहीं. ठीक है. Exactly at least 2 plus at least 3. Exactly 2 plus exactly 3 is 2C plus B plus 100. 2C plus B plus 100. That is at least 2. 2C plus B plus 100 is 1200. Okay. So 2C plus B is equal to 1100. Point taken. 2C plus B is equal to 1100. Do you guys agree with this? Yes, Cheryl? Okay. Now, can I generate something out of it? I know the value of C. What is the value of C? I already know the value of C. C is 550 minus 5B. C is 550 minus 5B. If I put the value of C here, that is 550 minus 5B plus B is equal to 1100. Okay, that is 1100 minus 10B plus B is equal to 1100. Yes or no? Yes? So obviously B is turning out to be 0. Point taken? This information I have 550 minus 5B. 550 minus 5B is the value of C. If I put C here, 2C is 550, 1100 minus 5B plus B. So B is obviously 0 because we don't have any number on the right hand side or left hand side. Now the moment B is equal to 0, I'll be getting specific information. Let's see the statement. The question is asking which of the following statement must be false in all the scenarios. All 1600 satellites serve B or C or S. Yes, that is correct. Why? Because as per the statement, B is 0. When the outside value is 0, that means all 1600 satellites are using or are being used for B or C or S. Yes or no? This statement is correct. Fine. The number of satellites serving C cannot be uniquely determined. Once we know the value of B, I know everything is depending upon B. We have find out the value of K. We have find out the value of 2K. We can find out the value of K. If I know the value of A in terms of B, I know the value of C in terms of B. Can I find out the value of 2K? Tell me, can I find out the value of 2K? Yes? Yes or no? Because B is 0. The moment B is 0, we can definitely find out the value of 2K. And the statement is saying we cannot find out the value of 2K. That is incorrect. So the first statement was true. Second was false. And we were looking for false statement. Which statement is false? Second statement. Okay. The number of satellites serving exclusively B is 250. B is 250. So I know the value of 10A. 10 is 5A plus 250. B is being 0. So will become 250. If B is 0, this will become 250. 10A will become 250. That's perfectly alright. Not a problem. So this again statement is true. I'm just trying to make sure that we are able to understand everything. Fine. The number of satellites serving B is more than 10,000. The number of satellites serving B is more than 10,000. That can be calculated. The value of B is 2K. The value of K is what? 725 minus 2B. The value of K is 725 minus 2B. 2.5B. So the value of 2K is going to be 1450 minus 5B. Yes or no? If I put the value of B here, B is going to be 0. So 2K will turn out to be 1450. This will settle all the debate around 2K. We can find out the value of 2K. Yes. The number of satellites serving B is more than 1000. That is also true. So which statement is false? Second statement is false. Answer is B, Bombay. Okay, everybody? Fine. This will be it from this particular discussion, guys. Thank you so much. Do solve these questions on your own. Fine, and then rewatch the video. That will give you the better idea. These are actual CAT questions, so we'll probably give you the idea the kind of questions we get in a real exam. Okay, rather than, I mean, if you have solved questions of the previous year papers, you'll actually get the feel that the kind of question they ask. So kind of important, exercise this. You will be getting some sort of confidence out of it. Please solve these questions on your own, whatever the questions we are discussing. And then if you are able to solve, not able to solve, then watch the videos also. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a great day.